You know that thermos I was talking about, Ryan?
Yeah. And how many of those have you had?
Today, one,
How many yesterday?
two.
Jesus.
It's all French press coffee with 4 scoops. So let me do. Okay, so it's 2 batches of French press coffee with 4 scoops of 5 scoops of medium coffee, mild coffee, whatever you want to call it, and then 1 scoop of espresso.
Hmm. But you put a bunch of cream in there.
Not yeah. Well, I put 3% or whatever milk in it because that's the milk that I have right now. Typically, I have fake water in it, i.e., milk, skim milk.
Hmm.
I'm staring at Ryan's stomach right now. There goes Ryan. Bye-bye, Ryan. How are you doing, sir? How you doing, John?
I'm good.
That's good.
Chilling.
You seem trepidatious. You seem
Nope, I'm good. I'm just.
well. Whatever you said, I just missed it. My
No,
bad.
I didn't say
And
anything.
more.
That's all. I
You're
just
glitching.
said,
My
eh.
slow internet.
No, that's all good. No, I'm good. Just
All right.
chilling.
Slow Sunday.
Yeah, it's nice. It's really nice, actually.
I know that feeling.
Mm,
The first weekend I've been able to actually stay in my own apartment.
yeah, nice. Jen and I went to go see Zootopia.
How was that?
It was actually really good.
Are you a furry now too?
No, but it's funny.
Thank you. No, I actually do want to see that movie because I've heard it's actually exceedingly well written.
It is. It's very good, and had a message without being overly preachy. It was
What
pretty
movie is that?
Zootopia.
Oh, I wanted to see that.
It's funny.
What time's your dinner?
7.
2 hours.
Yeah.
And you have to be there at 7, huh?
Yeah. It's all good. I'll jump out if I need to.
All right, who has the background noise going on? I'm guessing Ryan,
It's probably the
as
baseball.
always.
I'm watching baseball. It's opening day.
Congratulations, you have 161 games to go.
It's only 100 and... Oh, yeah. I was thinking 152.
There's that stupid deck number again, 52. Hey, BJ, how many states are in the United States? Is that 52?
Yeah.
Really?
Jesus.
I thought there was 50.
There is.
Okay,
There are
good.
50.
Nothing's changed since the last time you went to sleep.
Goose
Like,
Fraba.
did we freaking claim some new land or something?
Goose
Oh,
Fraba.
that's frowned upon in the rest of the world these days. You can't do that.
Goose Fraba. Not in Russia. Goose Fraba.
Yeah, that's not really working out well for him either.
Nah, most people have forgotten because, oh, hey, look, they're really doing a great job in Syria. What about Ukraine? What's Ukraine?
Oh,
There he is.
How are the cinder blocks?
still
By the
got
way,
it.
just heads up, we're going to give you shit on that. I just wanted to tell you, forewarned.
We
we're
can't
giving you
hear
shit.
them. No.
That's right, silence, bitch. I don't care if it's technical. Ugh.
Still no.
I like my French press. It's just that I gotta not make sure that my beans don't grind all the way down to a fine paste or fine dust. Because then at the bottom of my cup, yeah. Still, I can live with it.
That's the best part of the coffee.
You need to drink better coffee.
No, trust me.
Yeah. Definitely need to do that.
If I made you coffee, you would shit yourself.
Yeah, because it would go right through me.
It's coffee. That's kind of what it does. Oh, dude.
We're all just civilized men being civilized.
We're never gonna hear Josh.
Hold on a second. I may have to do something. No, he's included.
Private Eyes?
Yes.
It's a good song.
He's been listening to that song on repeat for 3 days.
No.
Okay.
No. I also was listening to.
Dude, Hall & Oates are back. I would be listening to that shit all the time, too.
Well, actually, I
Yeah.
listened to it because of Psych.
Oh.
Oh no, I still listen to the song. I still enjoy the song, but the only reason I ever heard of it in the first place was there was a commercial for Psych, and all the main characters did a shot for shot recreation of the music video.
That's a great song. And a great music video. A little creepy.
Yeah, no, I know I've made this joke 100 times, so I'm not gonna make it anymore. Never mind. Mama Richie's creepy. Although I can't think of the song off the top of my head now that I'm thinking of. Really wish the TV world would get over fucking curved TVs already.
Mm-hmm.
And smart fucking TV. Excuse me
Yeah,
if I don't fucking need smart.
You're stupid.
Yeah, I have a Chromecast. I don't need your fucking $300 UI when I can buy a better $30 UI. And that's all that fucking is. You're gonna get a bump of like $300 to $800 just because of that smart TV label, and I can easily. Hell, it's even cheaper to get Apple TV at $99 and hook it up.
Yep.
Hmm.
I've never seen the purpose of Apple TV though.
It's just another way of streaming content. You're just doing through the Apple, environment. There's the word I was looking for. Like where I do it through Chromecast, so it allows me. So I have all my shit in the Google ecosystem. Then on top of that, Hulu and NHL.
Oh, hell.
I think John's playing the game.
Well,
Watching you. Watching you.
creepy.
It's not the only song I've been singing of. For a while, I bounced off of that and started. I hummed Wolf Mother, Eye of the Beholder, which is really fucking good.
Hmm. Well, fuck.
Do we have an outline?
No, I didn't write one.
I thought you were the king of outlines.
I
You
am.
know, I swear
Until
that was in the chat.
Until I decide that I don't want to do it anymore. It's like, nope. So we're winging it. Also, do you want to host? I don't want to host.
I'll host. That's fine. John, you look so ready for this.
I am ready.
So, did anybody figure out what's going on with Josh? No?
I don't think Josh has figured out what's going on with Josh, and I think he has the most input.
What's up, buddy? Figure out what's going on. Yeah. Okay. Is there any other programs you can run to test to see if it's picking that up? Yeah, somewhat. Oh, okay. Is it tested when you bring up the audio properties? Is it even testing? Picking it up?
By the way, we're live.
All right. Well, I guess we'll get started. And if you get it figured out, just hop back in. Because John. All right. Cool. Later.
I think we're gonna start with Daredevil.
Okay.
And then I think we're gonna move into Deadpool.
Cool.
Okay.
We can then talk into BVS.
Which you're the only one that hasn't seen.
I'll see it. Don't worry about me and spoilers. I'm definitely okay with hearing how that movie ends because I have a very good feeling that one of those trailers ruined one of the biggest plot, which was Grundy, or was it Death something?
Doomsday.
It was Doomsday.
Doomsday. Sorry.
Having Doomsday in there, pretty much, Superman's gonna die.
Yeah.
Oh, is that how it happens in the comics too? I wanted to ask that.
Yeah, but not. No, I mean, yes and no. They kind of melded two
Except
different
he's not
comic books together. Yeah, well, he wasn't dead in Death of Superman either. Like, yeah, nobody dies in comic books.
Right.
Well,
Except Wolverine. They've done a really good job of keeping him dead.
no, he's coming back.
Well,
Of course. Technically,
Yeah.
Here,
technically,
let's just get this started, and then we'll talk about all this,
okay.
so we can get John out of here.
Put a memento. Just one more minute. Because I started thinking about what we're doing, and I didn't start thinking about the title thing. Like doing that. Oh, hey, welcome to the Clever the Name podcast, Comic Cast.
All right,
Which
you're good.
episode of the Comic Cast is this, like 4?
3.
3, I think.
Oh, wow.
That's
pretty
what I
sure
got it
it was.
listed as.
3. No, I think you're right. Daredevil.
I'm not seeing a Comic Cast one.
I don't know if we ever. I think John just had one on his own. I don't know
All
if
right, let's do it.
What are you talking about? No, I sent out all those. The old outline things. I never wrote.
Did you?
I don't think I wrote an intro.
I
But I did write like a basic outline, like just
Oh, okay.
yeah. But I don't think I put an actual. I kind of just wing it. Basically, it's
Yeah, you're right.
Comic Cast, and then spoiler alert, and yada yada yada. This week we're talking about such and such and such, and then we just go into it.
You're absolutely right. All right. Any idea? Okay, before we start, one last thing. Do we want, like, other than Deadpool?
We're gonna talk about the Iron Fist casting.
Yeah.
Which
Um,
Deadpool I will exit for.
I don't need
Oh.
to exit. Yeah.
You still
Unless
haven't
Well,
it's-
just because I don't really care about it, but I do want to see it. I mean, I know it's probably stupid, but
No.
in all reality, is there a big enough spoiler, like, in that
No.
movie?
I mean,
There's no spoiler.
that's why I said. I mean, probably not, except for the jokes. But
Yeah.
well, even then,
I mean, I don't know. We'll see.
okay.
Can I be heard now?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, there he is.
Okay.
Fucking
Anybody got
beautiful.
anything else that they want to talk about other than
Jessica Jones.
yeah?
Did we cover that last time though? I'm pretty sure we did.
I think I don't know if we did.
Okay.
It's been a while since we've done a comic
yeah.
cast. I don't, like I said, I don't know if Jones got.
Throw it
got
in if you
talked
want.
about.
Yeah.
Oh no,
We
because I
covering
was in
season 2 of
Arkansas.
Daredevil?
I was in Arkansas. Yeah, we already talked about Daredevil, but I know you weren't here, so that's okay. Okay, let's do it. We'll ask. We'll go from subject to subject by group. 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Hello and welcome to the Cleverly Named Podcast, Comic Cast number 3. Be forewarned, this is us talking about our comic book, TV shows, movies, and as such. So there will be spoilers. We're getting that right off the bat right now. With me today is John,
What up?
Josh,
What's up?
Ryan,
Gotti.
and PJ.
What up, though?
And I'm Danny. So again, we're gonna say what up. I see John laughing. Distract the
like-
shit out of me.
It's
But,
like, yeah.
The extremely long pause.
yes.
It just reminded me of that video that was going around with the newscaster, and he's like dancing in his seat to "Where They At Though," and he's like, "Where they at though? Where they at though?" And it's this white dude, and it just like I was like straight up. You dude. Okay, good talk.
Anyways, so we're gonna start off with probably what I'd say is the best thing to come out of comic books recently, which is Daredevil.
Yes,
Um,
yes, definitely.
Dude, that series, and it's one of those things where Deadpool, and we'll get into Deadpool later. Deadpool's amazing, and then you watch Daredevil and you go, "Oh fuck me!"
Yeah.
Especially towards the end of that season. Although I will say that the absolute last episode, you can kind of see like the last 5 minutes, you can see coming like a mile an F away.
Well, only if you know the comics, though.
I don't know that much about Elektra, like a deep dive into Elektra, but I kind of saw that was coming. Granted, I do know enough to know that the Hand and her, and her being the leader in the the more recent comics of up until the Shadow Empire, I think is the run.
Yeah, Shadow Empire is when Matt Murdock takes off, and you see hints and elements of that whole arc in the show, and that was probably. Actually, there were a lot. There were a lot of oh shit moments for that season. I think it was absolutely phenomenal and as close as perfect as I've seen an adaptation of a comic book story ever. And you can quote me on that. Like it was so freaking good.
I think it's also included in the fact that they didn't go as deep mentally with Punisher as they could have, but that's perfect for what Punisher is to Matt Murdock. As hey, we're not going to think too utterly deeply about other than introduce emotional problems for Matt Murdock that Punisher has always created for Matt Murdock.
Right.
So
what about that casting, man?
Really kind of crazy, and I like how they actually went deep with Elektra instead.
Best fucking Punisher ever, hands down.
Yes, I do. I agree.
No disrespect to Dolph Lundgren back in the '80s, you did good, brother, but John Bernthal.
That's '80s Punisher. That's a little bit different.
No, I mean,
in all reality,
it's a joke. But
he was
seriously, his monologue in the graveyard right before he gets picked up, it was just absolutely on point, and I hope they give him an Emmy for that because he is just perfect, spot on. I mean, and Elektra's casting was amazing. What was that? Elodie Young, as well. They both were just. They captured the characters perfectly. And the cool thing about Elektra was we got to see her not hokey, not just a femme fatale, not just this, but Elektra's fucked up. She's fucked up in the head, you know. She's had all this indoctrination and to see that played out on the screen was really it was good. It was just comforting to know that the street level characters, because they're my entrance into Marvel. You know, my first comic was Punisher. So all those guys, like I have a deep seated love for everything that they're doing. To know that they're being taken care of is very reassuring. You know what I mean?
And it's one of those things too that they bring the fighting into a TV show that in all reality we're all waiting for Iron Fist. Iron Fist is going to be the like straight up martial art TV show, but then you actually see Matt Murdock, Elektra, and the Punisher all get into crazy ass fighting situations. Like the prison scene was fucking crazy.
That was dope.
And now a lot of people are saying that that's the best fight scene since season 1, and I agree with that, but I still think season 1's better.
Dude, that stairway fight scene though, that was insane.
That was a good one. Mine actually was when Daredevil goes to rescue the Punisher, and he's not only fighting everybody else, but he's stopping Frank Castle from killing people. Like that was probably one of my favorite moments was was how seamlessly the choreography went between the two of them, and the cinematography at the same time. Cutting between them fighting, but they're different takes on how they're going to get out of the situation.
And they have different takes on how they actually fight too, because if you notice,
Absolutely.
Frank Castle is in the
A
comics
brawler.
and in
Mhm.
is a brawler, bruiser type of fighting, and then you have it's kind of like hard rock versus classical music. They're both
Yeah.
great, but you have Matt Murdock doing classical music, and you have the Punisher doing hard rock.
Yeah, straight up. Another scene that I did want to point out, and I was waiting. I actually wrote it down somewhere, but it was a couple weeks ago when I was watching it, was the scene where Punisher has Daredevil tied up to.
Oh, that was a
brick.
great scene.
Classic
It's
comic
actually in the comic books. It was in Garth Ennis's first run, first story arc of the Punisher, and it was. I mean, it was played perfectly. It was absolutely played perfectly, with of course variations, with TV Liberty and all that. But it was. I was like, okay, now I know the show is going to be in good hands. They took that scene and didn't ruin it. It wasn't campy. It wasn't overly dramatic. It was that right amount of tension, between somebody who's got one worldview and somebody who's got another worldview, and they're just completely at cross purposes.
And I also really love the simple fact that you don't know who you 100% agree with.
Right, because he's challenging him.
Yeah.
He's challenging him, like he's almost thinking in his head. He's not willing to admit it, but he's thinking, am I wrong on this?
Right. Josh, you were going to say something?
I was gonna say I thought the most interesting part about that scene, besides him and Daredevil's exchange, was the moment where you got to see just how far Frank would go.
Right.
It's because of the fact that you have that part in the scene where the old war veteran comes up and disturbs him, and he's on the other side of the door. And even though Frank and that war veteran are brothers in arms because they're both military, both Marines, stuff like that, Frank wasn't hesitant to essentially cock back the hammer on that revolver that he had and put a bullet in that guy's head. That shows just how much Frank Castle's family and what happened to him means to him, and how much it spurs him along over anything else in life. That is the end all be all. Like anything else that gets in his way, he doesn't care.
Can I also say that I think this is the first portrayal that I actually really felt for Frank Castle when his family died? Like you got invested into
absolutely.
that. And it's like I've never seen a Frank Castle actually able, because they're always movies, so they never give you the time to actually like get like really involved with, oh my god, he really did lose his family in a horrendous way. It's like, hey, there's the motivation. There it goes. Bye.
And not only that, but the fact that you never really see that scene. You know what I mean? They don't do a dream sequence. They don't do any of that stuff, and I think that is perfect. You know what I mean? Because you got to play it out in your mind. Go ahead, Danny. I'm sorry.
No, it's okay. You took a breath and I jumped. And the way that they don't spoil it either, using the same thing where they don't actually, where you find out that it was the colonel, the lieutenant, or whatever his position is, and that fucked him over.
That was really crazy.
I was actually kind of hoping, because I like that actor. That's one of those actors that pops up fucking everywhere. I mean, he was in Flash, wasn't he?
And playing the same kind of character too.
Jackass military man.
Yeah. Hey, dude, get that work.
Well, it was one of those things that I'm kind of like, is that guy gonna like show up in the background and work for General Ross as Secretary of Defense?
Right.
I was waiting for that for the Civil War to make that little tie-in that everybody gets.
That would be funny. That would be so funny.
And then I'd also want to take a page out and go talk about Karen Page.
Definitely.
Where she jumped into Ben's role, and I didn't know that if they would go back to the front line, the quote-unquote front line.
Yeah.
The New York Bugler, I think it's called.
Mm-hmm.
And
the Daily Bugle.
No, it's not called the Daily Bugle because that's technically Spider-Man, and they didn't have the agreement with Spider-Man.
No. I know in the show. I'm just saying in Frontline it's the Daily Bugle. But yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, we're talking about something else.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys.
And then we have, and I forget the manager's, the editor's name, but then they create that relationship that allows Karen Page to something that I don't like my Daredevil's a little weak, but I don't know if Karen Page actually was ever in like writing newspaper articles.
No, definitely not. Karen Page was always written as one of those tragic characters, and they keep hinting at it. You know, it's going to be interesting to see where that goes, because she's definitely a tortured soul character, and you get a little bit of that in the fact that there was a scene with Karen Page and her editor, and she was like, Ben knew all this about me, and you do too, and the editor's like, yeah, it didn't matter to him, and it doesn't matter to me either, and she starts losing it, and it's like, oh, so close. Where are they going to take that? And it was cool to see her kind of come into her own as well, you know, not just as a secretary type or her girl Friday, but as a character driving her own narrative, her own scenes. And I think, what is her name? Deborah
Ann Woll.
Yeah, Deborah Ann Woll. I think she handled it absolutely deftly. You know, that was really, really good.
And it's one of those things that I think in the future it's going to be some storyline level of the Punisher, where it's not the main overall storyline of the season, which I really do think is Elektra and the Hand is the tour de force storyline. And I think it's going to be something where in the future you have Paige's character, who's the first like arc in the series, kind of like the Punisher, and then you're going to have the build up to another bigger storyline that might be connected. What else?
I love Karen and Matt's relationship. Like I knew it wasn't going to work out, but I loved it. I just like the chemistry there.
Don't count anything out yet. Don't count anything out. If you're
For sure.
you know the Daredevil comics, then you don't count anything out.
Yeah.
Matt Murdock might be the most uncelibate Catholic ever.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. The many girlfriends of Matt Murdock.
Oh God. But I also
comic on its own.
You want to talk about chemistry? You know who I think actually has better chemistry? Foggy and Karen.
Absolutely.
I don't know.
Foggy, the actor who plays Foggy.
I do, man. Foggy's got game.
Foggy's better than Foggy's the best actor in that TV show, and I really
Mighty Ducks.
I don't know, man.
Mighty Ducks, baby. Mighty Ducks.
But yes, and Fulton getting his game on.
By the way, the first words PJ said in 20 minutes was "Mighty fucking Ducks."
Damn straight.
Right on.
But I honestly believe that it's one of those things that no, you're not seeing him fight, but you're seeing him hit a level like of emotional depth, like because in any scene that they're in, Foggy, the actor's name I'm blanking on right now.
Hold on, I got IMDb up.
Okay, cool.
Eldon Henson.
He is Henson, Senior Henson. Whenever he's in a scene with Matt and they're like arguing, he has more emotional range for his character than Matt does. Now that could just be the way that they're like Matt's shutting him out. Right. So that could be that angle, and but it's just one of those things when you see them both on screen. Foggy's character is doing more, and
it's probably partially that. It's also probably partially the character itself, with Daredevil being a blind man. Probably a little less expressive in his facial expressions and stuff. He usually has a dead stare to him.
But that might be true. But Matt Murdock's depth when he's arguing with the Punisher when he's chained up is heavy, and it might be one of those things where I'm actually turning my own argument against myself and basically saying no, Matt Murdock's cutting himself off from Foggy, so Foggy doesn't have to deal with what Matt is. Because he's also being a Catholic, he has that Catholic guilt, and he basically is going, no, I'm gonna have my own fucking like I'm not gonna put my guilt on you.
I think with Daredevil though, you're getting very much with what flipping over to DC with what Batman has, where he identifies himself though as the hero first and his essentially persona second of Matt Murdock. Yeah. He identifies as Daredevil first, just like how Bruce Wayne identifies himself in his own mind as he calls himself Batman. He doesn't call himself Bruce. He calls himself Batman.
That's true.
Really,
Yeah.
John?
come out more
Yeah.
as
I mean, I don't know so much in the movies, but definitely that's been a theme over and over in the Batman comics, and part of the problem that Bruce's family has with him is that, you know,
Oh no, I completely agree with the
Yeah.
concept of Bruce Wayne. I actually think that Matt Murdock, like his lawyering, because let's look what Bruce Wayne is. He's a billionaire philanthropist.
That's a hard word.
philanthropist.
Okay, yes,
I,
that
I,
one.
yeah.
I can't say that word.
But oh, thanks for your support, Ryan. But but like Matt Murdock, it has a lot of time and space in the comic books, and I kind of hope I want to see it in the future in the TV series as a lawyer.
So that was
And-
probably my biggest problem with this season was the fact that he basically, like, I know the lawyering was important to him, but it didn't seem like it this season. It was like,
I would say it wasn't important to him at all this season.
right, like, I don't give a shit about it, basically.
And there was a lot going on too, you know.
The
I mean-
lawyering that he did give a shit about this season was all about stuff that helped his Daredevil side.
Right.
Absolutely.
No, and I
He was
don't
like,
disagree with
"Oh."
that, but there is something extremely distinctive between him and Jennifer Walters, who's She-Hulk, which I really do think we're going to be seeing, especially with the way that Jennifer, real quick side tangent on the whole entire MCU, Jennifer Walters, i.e. She-Hulk, will be in the the MCU in the next 8 years. I really do believe that because the way that they're setting up in the comics, they've been really pushing her hard as a main character. Like in the new Civil War, which is coming out in the next few months, she is going to be a critical, like she's going to be a cog character, like Spider-Man was a cog character in the last one. And
Have they
don't
announced
know,
that?
huh?
Have they announced that?
Yeah,
She's
it's
going to be in Jennifer Walters is going to be in Civil War.
actually yeah. I'm 95% sure.
I
But
am looking
But
this
what I
up.
was bringing up Jennifer Walters about was
So
that
they've announced it, but he's 95% sure. So that would
well, I
mean
give
they
her
have announced
5%
it?
5% error of being human, and being this human, which means
Dude,
yeah, there's a really good chance that I'm wrong. But
apparently it's also rumored. Sorry to stop you, but I just happened to get on IMDb. Marissa Tomei is rumored to be Aunt May.
no, that's not rumored. That's I think
Yeah, no, that's not rumored. I'm
confirmed.
pretty sure that was confirmed.
Oh well, IMDb hasn't updated it then. Holy
Yeah.
crap! Okay,
So-
we'll get to that.
yeah, we will get to that. Yeah, the collective freakout of Spider-Man later in the comic cast. What I will say is that I think that Jennifer Walters and Matt Murdock both have a life of being lawyers in the comic books, where Bruce Wayne is Batman, goes to sleep Batman, wakes up Batman, Bruce Wayne's Batman. Bruce Wayne is a cover for Batman. Matt Murdock goes back and forth between using Matt Murdock to cover for Daredevil, and then like Spider-Man needs a lawyer for the next 20 issues, so we're gonna like really lean hard into his lawyering and very little on his actual Daredevil.
See, I would love to see more of the lawyer side, but
It's the problem with 13 episodes. It's honestly the problem with 13 episodes is that you want to see more lawyering, but you need to have the storyline of the Elektra storyline.
Yeah, and how that and all that turns Foggy and Matt against each other. You know, we're left with a broken law firm.
You know,
And-
where you're gonna see it though. I think is that Danny brought up a really good point. In the comics, where they really dive into Matt Murdock's lawyering, it's always when he's defending or is involved in a trial with another member of the Marvel Cinematic or the Marvel Universe. So it's another hero. It's another person that's associated with a hero that he knows about. The Defenders, when we finally get to Defenders, I think we're going to see Murdock's character take on the role of his lawyer persona in the Defenders, because I think he's going to be put in a position where he has to. He's going to have to defend one of them. It might be the Punisher. It might be Luke Cage. It might be he's going to have to defend one of them.
I kind of disagree with you, because I think that we're gonna get Defenders, and probably I don't think they've officially announced it, so this is me guessing. We're gonna get Defenders in the next 3 years. I don't think it's gonna be too much closer. Probably 2.5
Well, 'cause
years.
you have to have
Well,
Iron.
so
You have to have Luke Cage before you can get to the Defenders.
Exactly.
and Luke Cage comes out what, September?
This year, September.
But Iron Fist is just hiring actors. So I think we're going to get a
Yeah.
second season. We're going to get a second season of Jessica Jones. We're going to get a third season of Daredevil, and we're going to before we get to one of Iron Fist. And the thing is that I think the Defenders is going to be about Shadow Empire.
They said 6 months is supposed to be the split. Every 6 months, a new season of one of the shows. I don't think we go another season of Daredevil. I think we get Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, and then I think we get Defenders. Maybe a Punisher, but then Luke Cage, Jessica Jones, Iron Fist, Defenders.
They're writing for Punisher right now. I know that it hasn't been guaranteed that there's going to be a show, but I mean, with the success of season 2, I don't see how they wouldn't.
Yeah, but that could be a completely separate thing.
Right, and it definitely would, and especially since that last scene.
Well, and then on a real side note too, the ABC Studios, because if you notice, this is actually made by ABC Studios, willing to make another an Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. spin-off with Most Wanted. It shows that yes, they are willing to go outside, create even more content for the Marvel the MCU TV.
Well, I think that also has to do with the fact right now that ABC shows that they try promoting every season. The new ones that come out aren't doing good, so anything that they can get into the MCU net, especially with current MCU, is always going to be good for them.
It's almost like a 2-season guarantee.
Exactly.
But yeah, I was going to go back to the other evidence of Punisher. Did you see when he grabs the generals, when he goes into the weapon cache and starts pulling stuff down, and you see Micro like on the side, which is a nod to his Punisher's assistant back in the day?
No, I didn't notice that. No,
Did you not see that?
No, I didn't. No, I missed that.
Oh my God! No wonder. I was like, why is he stopping me?
No, I was shaking my head because I was like, no,
knowledge.
he's going to talk about the paint part.
No. Like, go back to that episode.
I will.
You see a nod to Micro in there, and I'm like, you can't just do that and be like, yo, he's not gonna stop going out and killing people because he's the Punisher. So I think this was a good marker, a test to see if that could survive, because I honestly don't want another Punisher movie. I would love a Punisher TV show.
I'd actually like it in mini-series.
Yeah, and that's also a possibility.
Like 5 episodes.
Yeah,
and then
absolutely.
that's that for a season.
Yeah, one of my favorite shows does that. Luther.
That's BBC in general.
Well, yeah, but I'm saying that model has merit. They went from 5 episodes to 4 to 3, and now this most recent season was only 2 episodes, but they were like each 2 hours long.
Which you could do, yeah. The problem with Frank Castle is, in all reality, I've never really felt that Frank Castle has a lot of depth singularly. Like I know, but and the problem is that you I understand that you have a deep heart and place in your heart for Frank Castle, and I really do understand that. But the problem is that how do you have Frank Castle as a single entity in today's world? Like he's really good added on to something else.
But I don't know, man. There's so many things that could happen. Like you look at all the people that he deforms. One of those guys become Jigsaw, 6 episodes.
True.
Oh God, I would love to see him against Jigsaw.
That's off the top of my head. There was the Trust episode, or Nick Fury gets a hold of him and sends him to Afghanistan like they did in the Mother Russia story arc.
No, and while I love that, they haven't
so
shown
many things.
They haven't, at least with the Nick Fury one, they haven't shown where they really want to uberly connect the Netflix MCU TV.
Don't make it Nick Fury then. I mean, write somebody else in.
Dude, what if they did
another general guy?
Ross would.
It would be interesting to see a Punisher show where they take a traditionally Daredevil villain and have it like Punisher against like Bullseye.
Yeah, I mean, they have fought each other.
Especially because
before.
they hinted at Bullseye.
Actually, I'd rather see Deadpool and Bullseye, but they actually grew up together. And
in that story arc, yeah.
and a few different. I thought it was a few different story arcs. I know Dark Reign.
The
They
Dark
really
Reign,
hit.
yeah.
They really hit it into that they actually grew up, or they worked together at one point, which would make complete utter sense. Where they were actually a huge team before Deadpool became Deadpool. Anything else before we transition on? I mean, I think again, it was one of those things that I was really scared when I heard that they had that they changed showrunners. I was really like that was, and then you have this guy come in and he does, and like John said, that where Matt Murdock's chained up, that made me like, oh, I feel completely comfortable. I'm not scared of anything, and them screwing it up like they really could have.
Yeah, it was a great season overall for me too as well. And I've said it a million times over the years since we started doing this together, but it's an amazing time to be a comic book nerd.
Oh, it is.
Like it really, really is. To see all this stuff on TV and them pushing so much, and there's so much because there's so much more. There's so much material. You know what I mean, to pull from. Look at Badlands. It was a show on what is the TV?
It was on AMC.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I love that show.
Did you really?
Based on a comic book. Didn't know that.
Because
I love it.
I saw it, they were really, really pushing it during The Walking Dead. Like they would make you watch it basically because it was on commercials or whatever.
Mhm.
But I was like, I don't know if I could really get into this.
Well, it's good to see. It's good to see a martial arts show back on TV again. One,
Right.
I just love that genre in general. But two, it's yet another comic. An avant-garde comic to be sure. It's a third party, but it's there.
Well, and then you also have Priest coming out too on AMC.
Yeah. Although with Seth Rogen doing it, I don't know how I feel about that.
Moving right along.
That's all I'm gonna say. Green Hornet.
Moving right along. Talking about the Merc with a Mouth, dude. Deadpool. Like it's one of those things. Like I said, dude. If it wasn't for the way that Daredevil went, holy fucking shit. Dude, again, it was one of those things that you get into the movie theaters and it's the first 5 minutes of the movie you go, holy fucking shit. By the way,
The credits alone set
a British douchebag.
an overpaid
I thought it was funny, but
an overpaid douche. Loved it.
Hold on, Ryan. What are you trying to say? Go ahead.
What's up?
You were saying, go ahead.
Oh, maybe it's because I don't have the comic ties and like I don't have already a love for him, but I enjoyed it. But you guys were like, "Holy fuck, that was the best thing ever." Me, I was just like, it was funny, it was good story, kind of.
For the thing that it is supposed to be, it was perfect.
It is
Make me laugh out loud.
Green Mile.
It's
It's fucking
Deadpool to a
Deadpool.
T.
It's Deadpool to a T, and it's one of those things that it took the levity that is Deadpool, brought it a little bit serious because you're talking about one of Deadpool's most cherished, or not cherished, one of deeper storylines, which is his creation, which is actually and you saw it actually is extremely dark, because that's actually who Deadpool is that he's someone that in a regular comic book series he's the lighthearted, he's basically he's trying to be Spider-Man's butt buddy. And then you get into that was for you, the internet. That was for you. And then
So many great comics where he's tied up with Spider-Man in his own webbing and he says shit. Spider-Man's like, "What the hell? Why do you say shit like that?"
and then you get into the whole entire thing with I've just had her name in my head, the Blind Owl, and how fucked up that those two characters are, and that they work together, and it. By the way, I left a 500-gram bag of cocaine next to the cure for blindness.
Yeah.
that lady was probably one. Any interaction with her was one of the funnier things in the movie.
It was, and I think it was the appropriate amount. I'd love to go into how deep and dark those two relationships are later in another movie. Although, spoiler for the end of this is the probably one spoiler for that movie. Cable cometh.
Yep, that was great.
That was great.
And they spoiled it themselves. Yeah,
Yeah.
not in the perfect, most Deadpool way possible. Like Cable and Deadpool, that would be great. It would be super great.
But I think the movie was done to a T. I think it's amazing how, like, honestly, it was one of the things that I love Ryan Reynolds. Like, he's my like man crush as a man. I'm not even like afraid to deny that. I want to be Ryan Reynolds, especially his wife. But dude,
Blake Lively is fucking gorgeous.
thank you, my friend. But he took that character and he made it absolutely perfect. He really is like Deadpool.
Yeah.
And it's amazing to see Van Wilder and other characters like the guy from Waiting do that role perfectly.
What I like about him is like Robert Downey Jr., Hugh Jackman. They both had one thing that I've thought of with the characters is that when they've done the characters, they've completely embodied them, and then even off of the screen, like they love everything about the characters, and so they will do little side things about the characters and whatnot. They'll do public events, they'll do little internet videos where they're just playing at that role. One of the things I heard about that Ryan Reynolds wanted to do, but apparently the studio that was ahead of whatever movie it was shot it down. Ryan Reynolds, after the success of Deadpool, he went to go interview, and there actually is a video of him interviewing Hugh Jackman
Yeah,
for
that
one of
was
his
very
most
funny.
recent movies. But when he showed up originally to go do the interview, he showed up in full Deadpool costume because he wanted to interview him as Deadpool. And the studio that's in charge of the movie that Hugh Jackman's on wouldn't let him do it because they were afraid of what was going to come out of his mouth with him being completely unscripted. Like talking about,
I don't know if that's what they're afraid of. They're like,
we're
wait,
going to
no,
ask Hugh Jackman about his Smooth Criminals.
like. But no, actually, I like they might say that. I really do believe that, like, oh no, we're not going to hear anything about our movie for the next 45 minutes. It's going to be him trying to get him to talk like Wolverine. But I like it, and the lead actress. Oh my God,
Morena, shit, I can't remember last name.
she's a courtesan. What are you fucking talking about? Firefly, please come back.
Marina Baccarin.
Yeah, that.
Yes.
Yep, thank
Oh
you.
my God, she was perfect for that role.
Yeah.
She's gonna be Copycat eventually. That's at least the characters.
Hopefully, yeah. I mean, we would know that, but yeah.
I still want Domino. I still want fucking Domino.
That would be cool too.
Yeah. And in all reality, you want to talk about someone who brings Domino in? It's Cable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, that's the easiest way to do it.
And God, that movie. I'm reveling in the thoughts of the movie and going, no, you got to keep on talking about a fucking podcast.
Well, talking about the movie, one area, I mean, because we have to address it now. That one area that makes me nervous is that Ryan Reynolds and the people behind it have said that they came out very early after the movie had success, and they said, we do not want to be given the multi-million dollars, like $100 million plus dollars, to do a Deadpool 2. We don't want to do it because we feel that we can still do it and make it funny with what we were given on the budget. And now you got Deadpool as of, I think it was last week, that they announced that Deadpool has become the top grossing rated R movie of all time. It's broken almost every rated R record except for in the U.S. domestically. It has not beat The Passion of the Christ yet for total box office.
That movie was rated R?
Yes.
Yeah.
Oh,
Hell
Everything
yeah.
else
It was-
besides that,
Are you
It
shitting
was a
me?
religious snuff film.
all right.
everything else
Dude,
besides
I've-
that
I've
was
wa-
killed.
I'll say
So-
I've watched that movie one time and I will never watch it again.
I am
It was
extremely
god-awful.
worried that Deadpool 2, I think it will be good, but I really am scared that Fox is going to be
No.
like, here's shit tons of money.
But do it our way. Yeah.
Yeah.
And I don't think that'll happen. You know, and the reason why I'm not so concerned about it anymore is that it was such a labor of love. You know what I mean? And to watch the following of it, to go from, hey, oh yeah, that's a cool idea that Ryan Reynolds guy should do a new take
and
on
leaked
it.
on the
Because-
internet.
Yeah, you know, and subtly leaked on the internet.
Hey, he said he might only be 72% responsible for the leak.
98%.
But brilliant, a brilliant strategy that paid off, and something that goes to show the love and the planning. To be told no for almost 7 years, and to still get it done, and to have that level of success after that. I think that's.
Plus,
they're not. They should, if they're smart, they won't touch it. Just leave it alone. Just let him do his thing.
Just imagine though, you have several movies out there, right? Avengers movies and stuff like that. These multi-million-dollar movies, right?
Right.
Like hundreds of millions that have made the billion-dollar club.
Right.
Right now, if you look at where Deadpool sits, I think last estimate was Deadpool's earned over $800 million. $800 million for a movie that I think cost them $60 million to make.
Exactly.
$800 million.
So what that means, what that honestly means is that Ryan Reynolds and the writers who I'm pretty sure were the writers of Zombieland, they have all the cards.
Exactly. They go to the negotiating table and said, "You didn't believe in this project. Here's your money." And
let us do it again, and we'll make you another $800 million.
Yeah.
See, the one reason that I don't want them to give him the money, because if they give him the money, like a lot of money, then they lose one of the jokes that they can do in the movie, where they say the studio didn't give them the money, so they can't cast someone.
No, they gain it. Oh look, we got money.
That's the new joke right there. That's like the Deadpool video game joke where they blew all the money budget and it
on
just
explosions and shit.
Yeah, in the middle of the game it just stops. That's a Deadpool gag. It pretty much writes itself.
No, I think I'll add on to that. And Deadpool basically goes, "I don't want to talk about we lost all the money," and it's just him in the strip club. Woo!
Yeah.
I want him to do the pancakes.
Yes.
Yeah,
The pancake pool would be perfect for the next movie.
I want him to just do it. I want him to show up and have Colossus in it again, and then have him show up at like the X Mansion and be like, "All right, Colossus, I'm here to give your fucking team a fucking try," and then go in there and make a bunch of pancakes, and then just be like, "Do you accept me now? No, fine," and then leave.
Well, no. The thing is that X-Force is coming. There's no fucking way that X-Force isn't coming, and you get really awesome characters in X-Force. Who's the Frenchman or the Fox Frenchman? I forget his name. He's part of the.
I know exactly who you're talking about.
Yeah,
X-Force,
and he's awesome. I mean, I really do believe that there's a decent chance that at the end of Age of Apocalypse we're gonna have a new young Wolverine.
Yeah, I would.
See, I think there's a lot of. There's been rumors that Ryan Reynolds is really, really, really trying to talk to Hugh Jackman about not being Wolverine but being Cable. Like he's trying to get Wolverine to be Cable, or trying to get Hugh Jackman to be Cable.
No, don't do that.
No, but the multi-fucking universe that fucking works.
Exactly.
Technically, it does. Yeah, and that's.
And
that's
he can make a joke of it because he made a joke of the different timelines of X-Men when when Colossus is pulling him, and he said, "Which one, McAvoy or Stewart?" It's hard to get these timelines straight. He could do the same thing with Hugh Jackman.
Yeah. No, it's true. And technically, in the Ultimate Comics, Cable was Wolverine.
Exactly.
In the Ultimate story arc, so that's.
No, well, I hope they don't associate Wolverine with Cable in this. I still think that we're gonna get a new young Wolverine, younger Wolverine to fit the Apocalypse storyline and shit. Although Wolverine would be one of the top characters to just straight go. We're gonna replace this actor with another actor, because Wolverine is like Wolverine. I mean, the person who never dies, and although he's dead, but still, guys.
Whatever they do, just don't bring in frickin' Daken, please. Just don't do it. Don't bring his son in. God, I do not want Dark Wolverine anywhere.
I hate Dark Wolverine too.
Universe.
I'm not a fan of him, especially in Dark Reign. Dark Reign, he
was kind of a whiny bitch.
He's a whiny bitch that he thinks that everything's amazing. Like everything he touches is amazing.
He's like Kylo Ren.
No, he's more emo than Kylo. Jesus Christ, he's more emo than Kylo Ren.
Is that even possible?
And more. Holy fuck! No, please, dear God, don't let that shit happen. Moving right along. Anybody want to talk about Age of Apocalypse than now that we're sitting where we're sitting in this conversation?
Uh,
I don't have a view yet, honestly.
yeah, same here.
I'm
That's
like,
just- yeah, it's
I'm like
too early.
Olivia Munn looks awesome, but I won't believe it till I see it type thing.
Oh, that's the new X-Men. I was wondering what
You
that
know,
was.
You say Olivia Munn and he gets it.
they've gone so. I know they're one track mind. They've gone so off with X-Men that I'm just like, now I have to wait and see, because even Age of Apocalypse, I know that storyline forwards and backwards, but even in X-Men it's convoluted. So I don't know what Bryan Singer's going to do, how he's going to change it. A young Storm mixed in with all these, the first class is starting out. Mystique is helping run the X-Men. Like, this is a whole, it just,
Which I think is appropriate because you
Mhm.
disassociate yourself with the uber fucking complicatedness that is the X-Men. By the way, if you really want a good way of tracking down what the X-Men are, explain the X-Men. Really good fucking podcast. Started from the beginning. And they literally go from beginning to end. This is the X-Men universe. Sit the fuck down, buckle in. This is going to be crazy as shit. Because it is. And so I think them doing stuff a lot more different. Like, Magneto's one of the... Like, if I'm reading the trailers right, Magneto, Angel, Storm, and
Psylocke.
Psylocke are the four horsemen of the
Four
apocalypse.
Horsemen.
right.
Correct.
What? I'm happy they kept Angel because Angel's the prototypical... He is the...
Yeah, I mean,
Death.
he was death, yeah.
He is death. But still, the others?
Yeah,
'Cause
who's
I
going to be
think-
War?
I think Psylocke actually was
Magneto.
Horseman at one point.
Well, I think they've all been horsemen, but to come out as horsemen, to introduce the horsemen, like, you don't even have a proper pestilence, it seems.
Right.
I mean, other than if you want to try the angle of Olivia Munn, Psylocke's Psy powers, there it is. And then be like, well, I can make your body like shrivel. That's not even. I don't
It's
get
cool.
it.
I mean, I loved Days of Future Past.
Which
it
is
was
making me
good. It
trust
was
it.
good, but I'm fine. I just don't. I made the mistake of going into Batman and Superman expecting something, and it bit me in the butt. And so
Please tell me more about that.
later.
I was actually transition to it.
Oh, okay. So Batman, Superman, yeah. So much.
Just the way that
potential.
starts.
Fucking perfect transition.
Just the way it starts.
I know.
So, yeah.
So much potential there.
I really don't understand why you hate it so much.
All right,
I don't get it.
One, I don't hate it.
You said you were
What-
bored. You texted in the middle of the movie. Holy
I was
fuck.
bored.
It was boring.
bored.
It was boring up until about an
Absolutely
hour and a
bored.
half through the movie.
Bullshit.
I don't
And
think
They
it
were
was.
building characters. They were telling you a story. I don't see how that's boring.
It was cool.
I don't think it was boring, but I will, since I've been on this train since the beginning, since Spider-Man first started. We started talking about Spider-Man coming into the MCU.
Argument. God damn it.
We do not need, like, the opening scene can go away.
I agree.
I do, and I understand where Josh was coming from as far as Snyder making
ridiculous flair out of things that don't need it.
Yeah,
Exactly.
I mean, how her pearl necklace fucking breaks.
Okay, wait.
It's
No,
ridiculous.
No. Okay, I will commend him for using that scene because that is actually.
I mean, it was a
straight
good
out of-
scene.
That's
I mean,
straight out of The Dark Knight Returns.
Right.
Frank Miller wrote that as how she died. So he actually.
I mean, like I said, it was a good scene, but I can see what you mean by the flare, just based off of that one scene.
It was over. Yeah, it took a scene that we all know, and it went
he
way
killed her in the
overboard.
most brutal way that we've seen.
Yeah, that's true.
The part
On
that pissed
film.
me off the most about the whole opening scene, I think it was in the opening, but they broke it up a little bit, was when he fell in the hole and then he starts levitating up.
Yeah, that was the other thing.
Yeah, that was fucked up. I didn't.
Yeah, that was the other thing. The bats basically made a tornado that lifted him out of the fucking well. Get the fuck out of here.
He says I was saying the same thing, but he's like, I don't know if that was real or not, but that's what it felt like, and it's just like I'm like, okay, bro.
I haven't seen the movie yet.
All right, bro.
Like that's
I
no fly
haven't
that
seen the
thing.
movie yet, and that sounds like utter fucking bullshit.
Dude, it was bad.
He was just standing there, and then
It
all of a
was
sudden,
bad because
That
it
was
was like
the
a
one part that I
transporter
was
beam
like,
of
why?
bats.
yeah.
The one part I was just like,
Yeah,
Well,
it was-
no, and the one thing I've always liked about Batman, which is not many things, but is the whole entire thing where they actually use the bats around him. That sounds like
It makes sense.
I was just like, why? Why do
Because
that?
it makes sense for a 5-year-old or 6-year-old kid to fly with bats around him. Yeah, that's exactly what it was, Danny. It was holy
really
bats that
it was
were
that.
raising
Yeah,
him.
exactly.
and yet,
that.
Ryan, you're defending this fucking movie.
That was one part that I thought was like,
Well, and
like, why the hell are you doing that? And then everything else, I
was-
was like, I'm
it was
good.
it was too much for me. Like it was just like, okay, I see where this is going, and maybe it was that I've been a comic head for as long as I have, but to mix Dark Knight and the death of Superman, that takes some serious writing. Those are two separate things happening.
Those are epic events.
Yeah, to put those events and just mesh them together and take the best of this and the best of that and like, okay, it didn't work. I don't think it worked, honestly. And then
You know, one of the things in the early on that I actually really just irked the living crap out of me
Mhm.
was you got to the point in Batman vs Superman, right, where Batman has shown up in Gotham. They're just calling him the Gotham Bat. They're not even calling him Batman, just Gotham Bat.
Mhm.
He shows up and he starts branding people in Gotham.
yeah, that was weird.
Nobody in Metropolis cares, except for Superman. And Superman only cares after the news reports start coming out where people question him killing innocent people. So once everybody starts focusing on him and not bowing down to him and like, this is our savior, Superman starts getting butthurt and decides to try to change the tune and point the finger at somebody else and be like, no, don't look at me, I'm the hero. That guy's over there branding people. It's him. He's bad.
See,
Bad Batman.
I think it's different than that. I think it really has to do more with a similar thing with Daredevil and Punisher, where Superman feels like what he's doing is right, and he doesn't want somebody else out there making
How
it
did he
look
feel
like.
that what he was doing is right? Superman didn't even know if he wanted to be a hero yet. Like, there's even a part later in the scene or in the movie multiple times where he talks to Lois and he's just like, I just don't know. I just don't know.
He's a conflicted
Like, he
character.
doesn't even know if he wants to be a hero still.
He's a
Which
conflicted
is
character.
ridiculous because we had a whole movie prior to that.
Are
where
you
he's
allowed to be
supposed to be
a
a hero.
conflicted person? Are you allowed to be conflicted, or do you have to be a one person? Are you allowed to?
We had a whole
have
movie that
different
was
things?
supposed to set up
I don't care.
becoming a hero. His journey from nothing to herohood was his last movie.
All right. Let me ask you a question. You've lived a whole life. Not a whole life. You
No,
still
he hasn't.
Okay.
Continue.
You've lived what, 30 years? Whatever. Do you still have situations where I don't know what I want to do?
We're not talking about
You're a person. You're
real
a
life,
human.
Brian. We're talking about movies.
Well, then
We're
go
talking
fuck
about
yourself.
movies, and there's a rule in movies is that you only get one movie typically, except if you're Batman, where you get a million of them. But if you're Superman, you typically only get one movie that is your origin movie. It is your, this is me undecided, and by the end of the movie, this is me decided that I am now a hero.
Well, then they're doing something different, and I love them for it. So go fuck off.
See, what I
You
find
want the same
interesting.
thing always. Don't take a different story.
No, I want a Superman that actually isn't a little bitch for once. Is what I want. I want an actor that can actually play Superman well.
Whoa.
I think he did a very good job. I love the
He
conflict.
did
Maybe
great.
Christopher
And
Reeve's back.
I like the casting. Okay, I don't have any problem with any of the except maybe Lex Luthor. I don't know how I felt.
No, Lex Luthor was awful.
Well, he wasn't buff
No.
enough. That's all I gotta say.
No.
No,
No,
he
no,
was
no.
crazy.
He was,
like,
and he was
he acted
he's
like
supposed
a
to be the
Joker.
son of Lex Luthor, and that was in Death of Superman. So, and he was a redhead. But yeah, it was a little.
He was acting like the Joker.
was a little too Jokerish, but
Yeah, I
mean,
would
it
give
wa-
you that. It was a little too Jokerish, but I still
well, it's
liked it
also- he's
He's a
overall.
little too Heath
Like-
Ledger.
playing modern eccentric. You know what I mean? Like billionaire eccentric and all that crap. So I'll give him that. My beef is that where you thought there was a story and you thought there was conflict, I just didn't see it. Like I wasn't.
Do you think that it's the fault of how the characters are built? Because let's put it this way: is that
Mhm.
one of the more famous sayings about Marvel versus DC is that Marvel is about people trying to be gods, and DC is about gods trying to be humans.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I like that.
And so you have something where you have these impeccable golden characters trying to act like a human, and then you have someone who's like Punisher and Daredevil that are built from the ground up, fucked up.
Well,
And so you have that it's harder to bring someone who's supposed to be the golden standard down to being conflicted.
I think that's an overgeneralization.
Oh,
You know what I mean?
I'm bringing it to
Yeah.
push the subject.
I get what you.
problem-
I'm not. Go ahead.
The biggest problem with Batman vs Superman is John nailed it on the head with the fact that you had two of the most iconic stories trying to get meshed together, but which is already hard enough to do. But
Mhm.
while you're also having those things, while you're trying to do those things, you're also trying to set the roots for all of these other spin-offs that you know are going to be coming down. Wonder Woman, you're trying to set up Flash, you're trying to set up Cyborg, you're trying to set up Aquaman. You're trying to get all these little nods into the movie while this stuff is going on and set up the growing universe while you're already trying to do something that's so difficult to do in the first place that it made it have issues. Like there's for instance, Ryan even said the moment that Flash shows up, like that was a completely okay, why?
It was a tad confusing.
But I
when
didn't understand
that-
I didn't understand what you meant by that, Ryan. Why did you say the non-comic book people would be confused by that?
Because they don't know who the hell he is.
Hey, he's become a popular icon with CW.
I would say I would disagree there. Flash. I mean,
Yeah, they had-
he's definitely in probably top 10 most famous.
All right,
And
let's
each
put
of the videos that he clicked on had their icon.
Yeah.
Of their
Now the
icons
icon, I knew Flash, and I didn't know Cyborgs, but I figured that out who it was, but I didn't
When
know,
you saw the
I didn't
video.
know his symbol. Yeah, I mean I didn't know his symbol, and I couldn't remember Wonder Woman's symbol. But as soon as he clicked on her, obviously I figured out who it was.
Gal
But
Gadot
the only two symbols I knew as soon as I looked at them was Flash and Aquaman. And I thought you were saying because it's a different person than what the TV show is.
So here's
which
my thing.
that part I'm not gonna lie. I mean I haven't seen this dude. I don't even know who that dude is. I need to look up and see who, and if that's actually the person they're gonna have play the Flash.
and that they could switch it and be somebody.
Yeah,
different.
exactly.
One of
Because I think it's a huge. I think it is a huge mistake to not have
TV
what's his
version?
name, Gustafson or what's something
Grant,
Gustafson? Yeah, Grant Gustafson.
yeah.
I mean, he should be the Flash. He is the Flash.
Oh,
I mean,
totally.
right now, he is the Flash. He owns that fucking role. So the way, so this where it comes back and gives Danny points to be fucking happy. That why they're not coalescing their TV and movie universes. They should be together.
Well, the thing is, they have one really easy in, and it's just playing more onto the DC's multiverse.
Mhm.
Just go there, there's another multiverse, play with it.
So I mean, I do the TV shows and the movies. I don't even do all the TV shows. Like I don't do any of the ones that are on cable. I do the Netflix and the movies. So I know enough, but to get me by, but not really. And then I saw the movie with my grandpa. He didn't know anything. I never knew that Flash could travel through time. I thought he could just move real fast. That's a confusing thing right there.
Speedsters in general can travel through time, and it's not just
Why?
Flash. I mean,
Say
Flash
why.
reverse, Flash
Superman
zoom.
can change the axis of the world and turn back
No.
time.
No,
By the
that
way,
is
this
false.
is the bullshit
That's not no.
That is false. That is bullshit. Fucking Superman 3 or
John,
whatever.
somebody that
Look
genuinely
at John's face!
John, one of your friends, Jen, posted that thing about Goku versus Superman, and one of your friends tried to make that argument about that Superman can spin the world around in time, so he'll always beat Goku. No
Hey,
way.
If
No
it was in the movie, I'm
No.
just saying.
Fuck that shit.
I'm just saying.
No,
I'm pretty
fuck
sure it
that
was in the
shit.
comics. Wait, even I'm pretty sure that like the non-DC guy, the straight up non-DC guy, I'm pretty sure that actually fucking happened in like the golden age of comics.
Yeah,
I don't give a
they've
fuck.
done that
Fuck that
crazy
bullshit.
crap. I didn't say in no way, shape, or form did I say that was cool at all.
Well,
I'm
no,
not-
I still think it's
I'm not even
absolutely.
convinced the speedster thing is legit.
Why? Because of the Speed Force.
Yeah,
What-
like
What
that's a little much
bullshit
for
is
me.
this?
Well, no. See that I can partially understand because the way we understand
One of
time
the
to work.
theories. One of the
Yeah,
theories.
That's why I said
That's
one of the ways
perfectly
we
fine.
kind of understand time
That's
to work.
perfectly fine until you give it the name.
Reversing the spin of
Force.
Earth is not going to change the way time moves in any way.
All that's going to
shape,
do is
form.
screw the
at all.
tables up
Yeah,
and then
it's-
just
it'll
crush
fuck with our-
everything.
The
It'll fuck
timetables
with our
talk about
environment.
like only one side of the getting tidally locked to the sun, and one side of the planet goes, "Holy fuck, it's getting really fucking hot."
Yeah, exactly. It'll fuck with our environment. It is not going to fuck with time. Oh shit. But no, overall, I liked the movie. I mean, it was I guess my expectations were lower. I wasn't expecting anything spectacular out of it. So I mean, it was basically exactly what I was expecting.
Hey,
Granted, we all know I'm not a comic book guy. I don't read the actual comic books. So if they fucked up storylines or anything like that,
Well,
as far as that goes,
and that
I don't really
isn't even
know.
that isn't
But-
even a thing anymore. You know what I mean? Like all the Marvel ones, they play fast and loose with certain storylines and they pick and choose, but they kind of make sense. And that was my only thing is I was like,
John,
it was too much flair. It was almost a Michael Bay movie.
John,
Like it really was to me. Like I was just like, ugh. Yeah. What's up?
hey, John. Is your mom named Martha? Because my mom's named Martha. We should be best friends.
Oh my god, that was so stupid. Oh, that was so stupid.
So what I wanted to know was how do they do that scene in the comics?
What?
That wasn't
The
that
Batman-
scene doesn't
This
exist.
scene doesn't
This scene doesn't
exist.
How do they become?
How
brothers?
do they become
They
super
go,
friends?
they go at it, but the whole thing is that their relationship is built out of respect.
Mutual trust,
They don't agree.
What ends the fighting?
Nothing. They always
Su-
fight. It's
Batman
superheroes.
kicking the crap out of Superman.
If I know my comic books right,
so-
it's usually that they're fighting verbally and then occasionally
No.
they swing.
So what happens is in the way that the comic is actually set up. So first off, when you know how in the movie when they're fighting, how Batman, unless Superman's affected by the kryptonite grenades, he can't make a dent in him. Like Superman, even the suit doesn't help him.
Yeah.
So in the comics, the suit, he can actually go toe to toe with Superman in the suit and do
Oh.
damage to him in the suit. It
Oh.
not until he actually hit Green Arrow actually shoots an arrow at him that essentially has the same type of dust in it, and it bursts because Superman catches it. He breathes it in, and it becomes extremely weak. And then that's when Bruce pretty much tells him, "Now you're feeling it. You're a human." And you have to worry about all the same fears that we do. And as he's doing this, he's kicking the living shit out of him to the point that he could kill Superman, but he spares him. And then he essentially just wanted Superman to know that at that moment in time, he could be beaten by a man. A man could have killed him, and a man didn't do it.
Okay.
Yeah, and that's the Dark Knight series, but they
that would be hard.
they go at it all the time.
Mm-hmm.
Like something like Superman gets brainwashed or Batman becomes evil or something like that, and superheroes are always beating the crap out of each other.
That'd be
They always try to find a reason for them to fight.
Yeah, I don't
Like the fear
I
ring
don't
or
know why.
the will ring. Batman getting the will ring or the fear ring.
Yeah. Yeah, Green Lantern going crazy and killing all the other lanterns. Like it just happens. Civil War.
Well, speaking of Civil
Final
War,
Crisis.
Yeah.
how are we feeling about the trailer that everybody watched? I think it became one of the most watched trailers of all time
Of course.
of
Until
the
next
official.
one.
Excuse me.
I said until the next one.
Buddy, they've come out with like 2 more trailers.
What?
No, I know.
A little heart and a big Johnson?
What?
What are you talking about?
Why? Pete,
Oh, I completely hold on. I completely forgot the name of the movie. But
oh,
that shit
thanks for
looked
making
hilarious.
a reference. Thanks for making a reference that brings everything to a grinding halt.
You're welcome.
Yeah, okay. So, Spider-Man is officially part of Civil War, and it was one of those things that, yes, we kind of know it's happening, but then they actually dropped the trailer. And it's coming out in just under a month now?
Yeah.
May 4th?
I mean, a
I already
month.
bought tickets.
3 weeks, nice. They're doing a Captain America marathon up the street, which is pretty cool.
Maybe try 6 weeks. But,
No, it's 4, it's 3. May 5th, right?
No, I'm talking about when I bought the tickets.
Okay.
But how are we feeling about at least the look of Spider-Man?
That's cool.
It's a huge callback to it, like the original
Yeah.
Spider-Man debut. Like, I feel the suit is a huge callback to it. Minus
Kind
the
of.
webbing under the arms, but
Oh God, thank God. Do we take any stock in the zoom in or like the how do I say it? Like the mechanical sound when he squints? Do we take any like depth in that could mean that Tony Stark has played with the suit?
That's weird.
No, I mean no, it could be akin to
It's possible. I'm taking Civil War with the same grain of salt that I took Star Wars, and I will take X-Men Apocalypse. I'm excited for it, and I'm sure it won't disappoint, but I'm reserving my judgments on Spider-Man for a very long time because this is probably the first move that Marvel's made in a while that I don't agree with. Like reintroducing Spider-Man again as a teenager all over again when we've had, Spider-Man's the reason why we get to make everybody's getting to make all these movies. The success of the original trilogy.
well, to be fair, that was Fox. All of that was
Sony.
Fox
Sony.
or Sony.
Yeah, it was Sony. You're right.
This is the first time that Marvel is actually
But-
getting to do anything with the character.
Plus they
No,
get a
but-
character that's closer to where they can actually sell toys too.
No, it makes sense. It's just frustrating, because I don't like Batman. I don't want to see the origin story again. I don't need.
Yeah,
to
and I've changed tact on that. I think you're right. I think we're gonna get a little bit of the flashback of Ben dying flashback, and then it's gonna be 2 minutes in another movie, and then that's that. The thing is that I kind of agree. I would love to see substitute Peter Parker when he's an adult and he's substituting kids and he has a hot model
Miles
wife.
Morales.
Huh?
I would love to see Miles Morales.
That would be dope. That'd be awesome.
I want him separate from Peter Parker. I want multi-universe.
I think we may get to that eventually. We're definitely not there
And
yet.
you have a perfect way of introducing him with the Reality Stone in the coming Infinity Wars.
Yeah.
Spider
And-
Pig.
Spider Pig. Does what? Okay. But and then also, can we all we got a really good look at Black Panther.
Yes, we did.
So good.
Which
That
looks
costume
really
is spot
fucking
on.
fun. It
Oh.
is. I've also heard that costume was the hottest costume on set, and the actor was melting.
Who's that?
What is
Who's
his
Black
name?
Panther?
Yeah.
What is his name? Hold on.
It's like
Give me a second.
essentially
Michael B.
when
Jordan.
Marvel
Is it-
decided that
Mike-
they
is
needed
it Michael
to
B.
do
Jordan?
Batman.
Michael B.
Shut
Jordan. That's not Michael B. Jordan.
No, not Michael B. Jordan.
Is he in
Are
the
you talking about
picture?
the actor?
Chadwick Brosnan.
That's
Is
right.
he
Robinson.
is he in the pictures that Michael posted?
Yes.
Yes,
Which one?
he's the one with
black
Iron
one.
Man.
This dude?
I'm not trying to be
Yeah,
funny,
that
but
dude.
I'm so.
it's not like he's the White Panther.
He's essentially when Marvel decided that they needed a Batman type character. You get the
They
Black
created Deadpool. Not Deadpool. Damn it! I had it. Daredevil. Daredevil and Batman are a lot closer than
Okay, he played James Brown in
he played
recent-
Robinson.
James
and,
Brown.
and Jackie Robinson and
Jackie Robinson.
If you mess this up, hear me. I will kill you. Do not mess up our black superhero.
I think you already have a pretty By the way, Luke Cage. That was a perfect transition into Jessica Jones as we're rolling through this quickly.
Look at John's face.
You don't like Luke Cage?
I'm so scared. I've never been scared for a movie rollout in my entire life.
No, he's scared about Black Panther.
Black Panther. Okay.
No, Luke Cage is fine. We're good.
I think he's
Although
great.
I was the same. I was just as scared about that too. Until I saw Halo. And then I was like, oh, he's cool.
Actually, I think you're really good at writing articles.
I am.
That might be an article for you.
Ugh.
No? No, I mean it's just no. Okay, time out.
I'll add it to the pile. You're not
Dude,
wrong. I think
of course Luke Cage was awesome. Luke Cage was Spartan Locke. Come on now.
No, that's not a point in his corner.
It's a point in his corner, damn it.
It's not a point in his corner.
He did well in what was that? What was that series called, Josh?
The
Halo 5.
No,
he's talking about
action. He was the live. He was
live
in the
action
live
shit.
action.
Nightfall.
Was he the voice actor as well?
Yes.
No.
Oh, I thought
I'm
they.
pretty sure he was.
They did something weird with it. I don't
No,
remember
he was
what
not
it
the voice
was. It was
actor.
two different actors.
He was who he.
He was motion
Spartan Locke's
capture.
look was mapped after him.
Why wouldn't they have him use the voice actor if he did the live action?
Because they got somebody else. I don't know why.
Probably scheduling. He was probably doing Luke Cage and didn't have time.
It could be.
That actually is a really good point.
Anyway,
Except Luke Cage hasn't filmed yet, has it?
Oh no, but he was. But Jessica Jones.
Yeah,
That's
no,
that's a
they're
perfect
wrapped.
thing.
Luke Cage is wrapped.
Is Luke Cage right? Oh yeah, I forgot.
They're just
What's it
editing.
come out,
Yeah,
September?
I didn't
Yeah.
think they had it wrote yet.
Oh no, it's
No,
coming out.
I knew it was shooting. I just didn't think it had wrapped yet.
Oh,
No,
all
it's
right.
completely wrapped. They're starting up on Iron
they're
Fist.
doing
Iron Fist now.
Yeah, they're editing.
Okay.
They're editing now.
All right, here's another question. Who's Iron Fist?
Oh my God.
It's okay. No, it's okay. You know, he doesn't know.
By the way,
Don't worry. I don't. I mean, I know who they are, but I don't
he's
really
the character
know
with the
anything
best
about
first name ever.
Iron?
No.
it, bro.
No, bro.
What's his first name?
Danny Rand
Oh, okay.
is what he was talking about.
It's a great first name. So no, how do we feel about Jessica Jones continuing on this? I mean, I know we're bouncing around. We're trying to get a lot in a short amount of time.
I got really pissed off with that series, and I only got pissed off with that series because of the fact that, to start off, it
was a
didn't
slow burn.
grasp me as well as Daredevil did,
Hmm.
and then I left it, and up until
that doesn't help you.
like the night before Daredevil 2 came out, or Daredevil season 2 came out, I was like, I need to watch this before Daredevil. So I sat down and finished Jessica Jones, and I got really pissed because the episode that I stopped on, the very next episode was when everything got good.
Oh, and it did. It really did.
Man, that whole series was really good. I loved
I
it.
still don't think it's as good as Daredevil.
I
No,
thought it
it's
was
not.
better. The first, I thought it was better than the first season. I really did.
You are perfectly. You'd have a good argument, but I see where you're coming from. I just disagree with you. In all honesty, and it's because the character. I think that the chemistry that Daredevil has outshines
That's
anything Jessica Jones has in spades.
That's a very good point. His chemistry with all the different
They need
all
to
his
plug in
counterparts.
But how do we feel? Like it was really good. I think Trish Walker was done right by Rachel Taylor. Kristen Ritter was actually pretty amazing as Jessica Jones. Although I'm
Yeah.
really interested to see, because Jessica Jones in the comic books goes from the Kristen Ritter how Kristen Ritter played it to a lot softer. I mean, she can still kick your ass and still has like the fucking craziness that is Jessica Jones being a hard ass, but like especially with the Dark Reign main comic line with the Civil War, she's very soft with Luke, and I'm really interested to see how I think Kristen Ritter has range for days, but I'm really interested to see that happens because Kristen Ritter is very much locked in this pissed off, I'm gonna kick your ass across the 5 state lines, and scared all at the same time really fucking well. It's just exceedingly different from what at times Jessica Jones is.
Well, she had a scene in Jessica Jones where she was really soft with Luke. That one after Luke got hurt and he was laying in the bed and she laid down with him and she was talking to him and she was being real with him.
I think she had moments of being soft, even with other people, but at the same time, like not letting them in at the same time.
And I think that was a great way to play it. And
I do.
They continue that. I don't think she should go soft at all. I think the reason Jessica Jones was so awesome was the fact that she was a real female hero.
Oh, I don't disagree.
She wasn't a caricature. She wasn't Black Widow. You know, she wasn't overly sexualized. She was somebody who was dealing with being a woman in New York during this crazy time. You know what I mean? And had gone through basically being raped. You know, and having.
Actually, I'd make the argument it's even deeper than rape.
Yeah, I mean it's I mean how could you? I can't speak from that level.
No, I can't either. But
the way Kristen Ritter played it was very, very good, and it was definitely a walk on the dark side, but not in the way that you would normally think. Not in the Punisher walk on the dark side. It was dark because it took a deep look at the human condition and
did.
And what people do to each other and what they tell themselves when they're doing it. And I think.
Well, I think that they did it in spades, and they did it multiple freaking times, because then you have Kristen Ritter, Jessica Jones screwing over Malcolm,
right?
Multiple times. Although, and it's even worse because it's not his fault that he's screwing her over. Because the amazing David Tennant, who I thought played Kilgrave, especially towards the end, so well. And it was in the he's screwing over everybody, and then you have I'm trying to find his name. Was it Will Travel playing Will? No, that's not who I'm looking for. I'm looking for Nitro. Who was actually I think a great Nitro, because Nitro goes fucking crazy. He becomes almost a cyborg.
And you could see him going crazy towards the end.
Mm-hmm. And it was funny too, because until some of the absolute last moments, you could see him coming back, and then until the last two episodes, or last episode or two, it's just he's gone deep end like Kilgrave.
Can you do me a favor, jog my memory? I can't remember where we left him.
Nitro got abducted by his the doctor people.
Who were helping him when he got injured in Afghanistan or wherever he was. So. Yeah, he was also experimented on. No, not Kilgrave. Kilgrave's
That's what I was talking about. Okay, so
Kilgrave's dead.
Okay, I couldn't remember how.
She broke his neck.
Okay, I couldn't remember how the last episode went.
She killed him Superman style.
All
right, I'm done.
And also, let's say that other than Luke Cage, what is with Marvel killing really good black actors?
Seriously,
with Clark Peters, who was playing that detective really fucking well. And they just fucking kill him off.
I lost my mind. I turned to Jen. I'm like, again?
It's mostly just the Netflix series.
Well, then Luke Cage is gonna die, and then John.
It boggles my mind. If he dies, I'm gonna lose it. Like I really will. I really will lose it.
It was just like, and I like Clark Peters. Clark Peters is in a few different movies, including he was in The Wire. He was amazing in The Wire.
Yeah.
And he's in John Wick.
Mm-hmm.
And just really right off the top of the bat, and he's a great actor, and they fucking kill him off.
Well, I mean, yeah. In his case, it actually made sense. In Ben Urich's case, to have such an iconic character die, and
that one blew me away.
Iconic is probably not the right word for comic book people.
He's a juggernaut in the Marvel universe.
Yeah, and I mean, I figured he'd end up on Daredevil. I honestly did, for the second season when he would make it through to the second season because he started on Daredevil. My bad.
Yeah, they're fine.
But I figured he and Jessica Jones would link up.
Yeah, because I mean, didn't he report on in the comics? Didn't he report on several of the heroes?
Yeah.
Well, no, They did a really good job with the concept of using him like he is in the comics, which is they created paper in the comics called Frontline. It's the idea of whenever superhero shit goes down, these reporters are right fucking there, and that was Ben at the newspaper. He was the beat reporter for the superheroes. Like he was the mob beat reporter, and he was right on the fucking front lines on that. And then when all the superhero shit went down, like and it's pretty funny because I think they basically make the point at the beginning of Ben's character arc is that saying like the mobs are fucking done. Like the old school mobs are done, and now you're playing with superheroes. And it was almost like they're like, hey, you don't have any mob stories anymore, but oh my god, that guy's in a flying suit, and holy shit, that's a big green guy. And go report that shit. Oh my god, aliens are coming.
And the thing of the comics is like, you know, he, without realizing it, he has a relationship with Peter Parker, who is Spider-Man.
On a deep level.
And then he also knows who Daredevil is. You know, he knows in the comics, he knows that Matt Murdock was Daredevil, and they work together. And he acts as sometimes informant for these guys because he's got his pulse on the city. Or his finger on the pulse of the city is what I'm trying to say.
Yeah.
But yeah.
And I thought Jessica Jones was really well done. I still like. And I think it introduced Luke Cage perfectly. And it was really interesting though to see because like Daredevil didn't like it wasn't like Jessica Jones got heavily introduced before in Daredevil.
No, not at all.
But Luke Cage got he was a main character.
Right.
And now he's gonna have his own series, and I don't see a way that you don't have Jessica Jones being a heavy character unless you do the like first 2 episodes are like him and Jessica Jones, and then it flashes back to like, okay, like this is the shit that got me
that's
here.
What I'm saying. You're gonna have to spend some time with Luke Cage's origins because he's such an esoteric. Well, he used to be such an esoteric character in the background. You know, he didn't really get much shine until Civil War and New Avengers.
Disassembled on, I agree.
Yeah. Well, he wasn't really in Disassembled.
Well, he was being introduced as an ensemble, and like it was like because Disassemble goes into M Day, and M Day he's nothing, and then in M Day to Civil War, that's when he becomes frontline.
Or in Secret War, the first Secret War. Before M Day was Secret War.
Secret War comes out after Civil War because Deadpool basically hands.
No, the very first Secret War.
Oh, sorry. No, Secret Invasion.
The one that's Invasion. Yeah. Either way, you know, he's now a major player in the Marvel universe, so they're gonna have to do an origin story with him. I think, you know, they'll have to talk about his time in jail, what that meant, or if they even decide to use all that, or just do a social experiment or whatever.
Actually, real quick, one, Sweet Christmas. I did want to get that out of the way. Well, no, you know what? He still said it. He said it, and that was one of those things that I really did enjoy.
It was dope. It was dope.
It was, but they only did it once. They didn't make him actually keep on saying it.
Yeah.
And I appreciated that. It was like, hey, we get the nod of being who Luke Cage was, but this is Luke Cage now.
Right.
And it's very much the Luke Cage from the modern comic books where he's a critical character. But 2 things. One, I actually do want to note Carrie Ann Moss's Jerry.
Yes, you beat me to it. But
and
I was gonna
he was
segue
really
back.
fucking good. But then also they is one. I think it's one of those the first real times that I've ever seen a lesbian or gay character that it's just normal, and it's so fucking refreshing that they made no turn towards it to even remark that she was a lesbian.
Acknowledge it. Yep, it was just there.
It was just there,
and that was dope.
And it was one of those things that like they didn't try to make it special. They didn't try to make it something that like other than what it is.
Look at what we're doing. Yeah.
Yeah.
And she's an asshole.
And she's a complete asshole, which makes her a perfect lawyer. She was perfect.
But yeah,
and she showed up in
Daredevil.
Daredevil.
I know. And she has to show up in Iron Fist.
Somehow.
She absolutely has to.
It's gonna be her. It's gonna be her, Night Nurse. Ooh, real quick side tangent. Are they gonna actually?
When did she show up?
She was offering Foggy
she offered
a job.
Foggy a job.
Yeah.
In the second to last episode. She's the person that Foggy.
I didn't even notice it was her.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
But
you're in the comic book world now, man. You got to start paying attention to stuff.
And everything's connected. And especially in Marvel.
I gotta pay attention to the road.
Across
That's
the
the
board. Like in
Yeah.
all honesty,
There's nods everywhere. I mean, you could spend hours and you still wouldn't catch everything. But
it's freaking amazing.
Mhm.
I had a second thing and I completely forgot about it. How are we looking on actual cable? Is anybody watching Flash still? 'Cause actually, I kind of
I watch everything.
I still do. I'm not really sure how I feel right now. Arrow, I'm
Hold on.
almost giving up
Hold
on.
on. Are you caught up on Flash?
I am caught up on Flash.
You were caught up on Flash.
Yep.
Well, I wish you would. I wonder if Josh is caught up on Flash.
Yeah.
You were.
I'm-
Danny, do you care?
No.
You don't
Go
care.
ahead.
Ryan, are you
Hell
watching
no.
Flash? Do you care?
Hell no. I
Right.
didn't even know he
Well,
could travel time.
Well, I fucking called that shit. You can ask Josh about fucking. First time ever. I was so fucking happy I seen that shit, and then when it came to be true, I was like, "Holy fuck! I
second
seen that
Flash
shit coming."
is whatever the fuck.
Oh, that Jay
Uh,
Garrick is reverse.
Yeah, that Jay
Yeah,
Garrick
Reverse
is
Flash.
Zoom.
Yeah,
Zoom.
Yeah,
Zoom.
that Jay Garrick was
Yeah.
Zoom.
Zoom.
I seen that shit like 5-6 episodes ago.
I
Finally
think you might have said something to me, and I'm like, yeah, that kind of makes a little bit of
And
sense.
I was
It
like,
is-
and then that shit came to be true. I was like, yes, I finally picked up on something.
It sucks because I know Jay Garrick as the original Flash, so I was like, oh, there's no way he's gonna turn bad. And then I was like, oh wait, oh okay.
Well, see, that's where Josh. See that Josh think because my the other part of my
PJ
Guess.
so excited.
Mhm.
was that the dude that had the mask on
Right.
while they were on Earth 2 that
Mhm.
was stuck in that's actually Jay Garrick also, but that's the good Jay Garrick.
Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I could see
Yeah.
that. I could definitely see
And
that.
yeah, and that's the other thing because technically at the moment, although now, are you watching
Mhm.
Supergirl? No.
Good job, Ryan.
welcome.
For the I saw the first like 4 or 5 episodes, but I'm gonna catch up when the season ends.
Because they
So
just
I didn't-
yeah,
I didn't see the Flash episode yet.
I'll say yeah, they finally had a fucking cross network crossover.
Yeah.
Which
Finally.
is great. Which
And I
is,
heard-
I'm not watching it.
it's
It's great. It's
Yeah,
absolutely
it's
great.
absolutely a wonderful step in the right direction of these people sharing shit and not being super uptight about that bullshit.
And can I honestly
Uh,
say that I have more faith in the DC TV verse than the DC movie verse?
Yeah, absolutely. Because I actually have more faith in their animated.
Oh no,
Department.
Oh,
you
yeah, I
have
mean,
to
DC
bring that
owns
shit up.
animated.
Like that.
Yeah,
of
I mean-
course they are. They've been like that since the 1990s.
Yeah, exactly. DC
No, I
fucking
know.
owns animated. I mean, all the Batmans, all this fucking super alliances or super
And-
friends.
and
or
we're
whatever.
getting
I mean,
Killing
all that,
Joke.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
But
Killing
I
Joke
think-
is coming.
I think the honest problem is that anime has been doing that well because that
Right.
makes them want to compartmentalize the anime away from the TV, away from the, and
Well-
Marvel's taken the animated and carp. I literally just said it. The
Compartmentalized.
there's the word.
Well, I
across
mean,
the board.
I think all the anime or animation stuff should be separate. I don't think that shit should be included with the live action stuff.
And while I agree with you, the problem is that I think it led to DC wanting to keep things separate across the board where you have the movie, the TV, and the animated because
Yeah.
they want to make sure that one can stay afloat and the other doesn't sink because they're all connected. Where Marvel didn't have that problem because they did Iron Man as a test boat as a test
Well,
boat.
and they knew where they were gonna go. You know what I mean? That plan was years and years in advance before Iron Man even launched. It was a prayer. It was a prayer.
I
It
don't
was
know about
there.
that. I
It was
I
there.
think they might have had a
They had an
somewhat
outline.
idea, but
they definitely had an outline.
I
I
don't
don't
know.
even
dude.
think they
I don't
I
know
don't think
if
they did until after Iron Man.
I
Was
agree with that.
Yes.
For the simple argument, and I'd like to see that article, but or like whatever you're referencing for that, because you seem to like go, no, I can point to this argument behind it. It's just that they wouldn't, if they had that idea. I don't know if they would have ever sold off Spider-Man, X-Men in the late '90s because it wasn't too much after
Well,
that
no.
they started developing.
That they had no choice but to sell. They couldn't do it themselves.
Whoa.
You know, I say that the studio was Marvel Studios was a Hail Mary. Like the Iron Man was a Hail Mary, but the idea of the world that they built, that's what I'm saying. I'm not saying.
Yeah, okay, I get that.
When they sold X-Men and Spider-Man and Hulk and all the others, you know, they were hemorrhaging money. They had no money. Yeah.
And I agree with that. I do.
Mhm.
And you're bringing it up more towards the point of like it was an idea, but it wasn't anything concreted as it is today.
Well, yeah, they knew what
Yeah.
they wanted to do, and Iron Man only just gave it clarity. Like it was like, oh, okay, we hit it, then we hit it again, then we hit it again, then we hit it again, and it's like, okay, you know, by the time Avengers rolled out, they were full steam ahead. They knew where they were going, and now with Disney, I can't imagine what that does to their focus to have Disney behind it. You know, it's at first I was nervous. Now I'm like, okay.
Well, no, because I think they learned their lesson with Marvel to leave Marvel running on its own steam train and just throw
Right.
money into it to get money out, and they're gonna do the same thing with Star Wars.
Right.
And it's
Star
just
Wars
and they're
is in
just
great
gonna
hands.
and then they can put all their like uber focus into Pixar and screw up Pixar.
But yeah, I mean,
I'm-
go ahead, John.
Oh no, I was just gonna say, unfortunately, this is where I'm gonna have to take off.
Oh, okay.
I couldn't find the chat, but honestly, stay tuned. We're gonna be doing what is that? We're gonna be doing the regular cast 2 tonight. As
Yeah,
well.
we'll probably take a short break, and then
Alright.
we'll probably come back out to see how many people we got that are available.
All right, thanks, John. Before we go, PJ.
Mhm.
Again, John, thank you for stopping by.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Guys, go on to Cleverly Named Podcast and read some of his gaming articles. It's good ass shit. I wish I could write remotely like him.
He's the best
If you-
writer I've heard.
If you see at the bottom of my picture, cleverlynamedgames.com right there.
Yep, go there. PJ, have you been watching Agents of Shield?
Yes, I have. I told you I watch everything.
Yeah, because you have no life. And it's
Gotham.
So how do you feel? I'm actually really enjoying how this season's going. The way that Phil Coulson is getting darker and darker and becoming more and more the Nick Fury-esque character, and I'll enjoy it. And it tipped off with Garrett, not Garrett. Oh Jesus Christ. With killing his old teammate, which was fucking crazy as shit. And then that character becoming Hive.
Hive.
Okay, so give me 1 second.
I'll say sorry. You said Hive, and I just thought of Arrow.
No, I understand. I understand.
I was like,
Brett Dalton, who plays Grant Ward. There it is. And him and Grant Ward being killed by Clark Gregg's Phil Coulson, and then that little like worm ass thing getting it. That is Hive.
okay, that thing's called Hive.
I'm pretty sure that thing's called Hive.
Okay, that's where you fucked me up. I was like, what is Hive? I was like, Hive is an organization for Arrow. the bad guys in Arrow.
Really? That's where Arrow went? Okay. All right. I haven't watched Arrow in a shit ton. And do you really want to bring up Arrow in these discussions tonight? Really?
It's fine. It's not great, but it's fine.
Is it the worst? Is it the second worst comic book TV show after Gotham?
Gotham, dude, I love Gotham.
Of course you would.
Dude,
no,
one, you don't get an opinion because you don't really like Batman in the first place.
I like
Two,
Batman.
you haven't watched.
When Batman
Two, you haven't
realistic.
watched. Two, you haven't watched this. I bet you haven't watched a single episode of Gotham.
Absolutely
so you really get no
not.
opinion on Gotham.
Gotham was just put on Netflix, so I'm probably gonna watch it.
But like when it comes to Agents of Shield, and so we'll let you have a diatribe on Arrow and Gotham at the end if you want. But I really like what they're doing with Agents of Shield. I don't think it's as good as the episodes after Civil War, or not Civil War, Winter Soldier, because that was absolute batshit, and I don't know if they'll ever achieve that synergy with the movies and Grant Ward finding out Grant Ward is a Hydra agent. But I really do enjoy, like, one of the best episodes was the episode where Lance Hunter and Bobby, aka Mockingbird Morris, became persona non gratas.
And see, I thought that shit was dumb.
I thought it was good. And again, I'm a lot more sappy than you.
Well, I know, but it was just the way it happened was dumb. Like, I'm trying to remember because
is it because of the politics of Russia and all that shit?
Yeah, I mean, it was just basically the politics of it. So,
by the way, you think majority of politics are dumb.
Well, this is true,
but it's honestly
so basically they sit in this room and they act like they're not part of Shield, and Shield doesn't own up to them, and everything and all of this, and Russia still won't let them out. But then they admit they're part of Shield.
No, they never fucking said it.
Yeah, but they basically did.
No, but see, the thing is that how much spy movies do you watch?
Because at first they were 100% denying it, and then they went to the point of acknowledging but not accepting.
No, it was one of those things that like Phil Coulson at the end goes, these two like heroes took their vacation off and killed your main proponent, like enemies in your Russian government, and it was all pure spycraft movie. Like straight.
Yeah, I mean, I know it was just, but I did. Like I said, I mean, it was fine. It was the way I guessed either those characters wanted out, those actors wanted out, or how
those characters are not wanted out. They're going to become the spin-off that I was telling you about, which is Agents of Shield's Most Wanted, and they're going to become like uber deep black hunting the worst of the worst of Agents of Shield in a whole entire new series next year, and they're already in pre-production. Pretty sure.
Oh, okay. All right. I didn't know that. But yeah, I mean, it was just annoyed me the way it happened. It was just kind of, all right, now you can go.
Well, no,
it was all this build up that we're gonna kill you and you're never gonna get out of here and blah blah blah, and then, all right, you can go.
Well, and I also think it makes room for more of the secret warriors, i.e., the Inhuman Agents of Shield agents. To step more into because you can only have so many like people bouncing around.
Yeah, you can only have so many characters. I understand that, and have actual active storylines.
And like if you've noticed that, like it seems to me that Fitzsimmons, the characters of Leo Fitz and Gemma Simmons have been pushed aside in the last let's call it 4 or 5 episodes.
Yeah, definitely. I think they're trying to bring Simmons back.
I think it's going to happen. It's just that I think they made way for the last few episodes, and let's maybe not call it 5, let's call it 3, because they had the Fitz is some of Fitz's best going to that fucking planet trying to save the woman
he loves, and the astronaut dude.
Yeah. And I think it was really fucking well done. And it's also interesting that they're bringing the Agents of Shield excuse me, back into the government fold without bringing them into the government fold with literally talking to the president.
The cover of ATC and shit.
And being the head of the ATC and being head of let me see if I can't find the character's name. Oh, I just had it. Shit. The lieutenant. General.
Oh, he's a general.
No, I thought he was a lieutenant general.
I don't think that's possible.
Glenn Talbot.
Yeah.
Major General. Maybe it's Major General.
Maybe Major General might be possible.
Yeah,
I thought once you got to General, you were just General.
No, he hasn't gotten to General. He hasn't gotten to General yet. It's like the next level up is just a straight General.
Okay.
By the way, neither of us were in the military. We don't.
Don't shoot us.
No. We're gonna take the complete and utter. I don't fucking know.
Can I shoot you?
Anyways, I really do like where Chloe Bennett's Sky character's gone. Daisy, I really enjoy what she's become. I think that they're having the Lincoln Campbell character played by Luke Mitchell. That romance I think is a little forced. I think it's a tad bit forced.
Definitely. At first, I don't think it was, but now it's kind of. Now I think it's kind of become that way. At first, I felt like they did have some chemistry, and then now it just seems like, and maybe that's what they're trying to, and maybe that's on purpose, because I don't know if they actually want them to be together, at least as far as the script and everything is going to go.
Any guesses as best as you can, and I wish John was still here for this question, but because he's more comic booky. But you're more TV, so it's actually really nice we can play off each other on that. How Civil War, because every movie has affected Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. in a capacity, and Winter Soldier has gone the depth of literally changing everything about Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And to Thor, which was, oh, hey, Sif's here for an episode. Bye, Sif!
Yeah.
And like, so you've had that spectrum. Where is Civil War? Because it's kind of funny that you do have a few lines in the sand, like Lincoln and May are not that close. I don't think. Damn it, Mac is not that close to Lincoln either, but Daisy's there, and they're both. So I'm curious to how Civil War is going to react because, and I think actually I saw an interview with Henry Simmons who plays Mac, and he goes, well, you got to think that Mac would love to see superhero registration, and which is the Civil War timeline or the argument, and like you have Simmons or Henry Simmons who plays Mac. There we go. Who would love the registration, but then you have someone like Sky going, no, I'm not going to fucking register. Or no, Lincoln. Lincoln would be the bigger non-registrant. And Sky going, well, maybe we need to have something in between it because she's going to obviously play in between. You're probably going to have Clark I would really see where Phil Coulson lands on that, too. So what do you think?
Well, one, this hurts me to say it, but Team Cap... It hurts my feelings to say that.
Because you love Iron Man.
I love RDJ and I love Iron Man, but fuck the government. Yeah, fuck the government.
Well, it's not even.
It really hurts me to say it.
In this way, it's not even the United States government. It's the world. It's the UN. It's literally like it's the UN stepping in. It's not, and America getting behind it.
I know. I'm just saying, fuck all the governments in general, not just ours. Fuck that shit.
So
fuck that shit.
That was first.
I don't know. I mean, I'm not good at predicting that shit. So I mean, I don't necessarily have any predictions about what it's going to affect. I am super hyped for that movie. Definitely, like I said, I can't wait to see how it all turns out and what all happens. And do we think Hawk's going to end up in space in this movie? Do we think Hawk makes an appearance and ends up in space?
No, I think that if that's going to happen, I think it's Ragnarok that does that, which is the Thor movie. And
I was thinking he may end up in space from this movie, and then end up in Ragnarok in that movie. Maybe.
Are you making the argument that the world thinks that Hulk is so like along with the Sokovia incident, which is literally trying to make an asteroid out of a country, and then they go, well, there's Sokovia, there's New York, there is the Triskelion in Washington D.C. with Winter Soldier, and then also the fucking Hulk, and then we have to get rid of the fucking Hulk somehow. I
mean, we know RDJ and. We know RDJ and Iron Man does.
I'm sorry?
We know Iron Man doesn't trust Hulk.
No,
he
loves the Hulk. Oh my God! How many times in the movies he goes, stretch out, like you have this power, fucking use it. Like he literally prods him.
That was
an argument. That was before. That was
before he fucked up. And that's before he felt responsible for creating fucking Ultron and creating.
I see. That's the point that I don't 100% agree with everybody else because don't forget that he created Ultron and then he fucking helped create Vision. Like it's not like he went, oh fuck, I really fucking screwed up. I'm not gonna do that shit again. Oh wait, hey, Vision. So it's not like he changed his ways because of Ultron. He literally in the middle.
But he did.
No, I disagree with that. But number one, they he was the biggest thing at the end of the movie. And the biggest thing at the end of the movie was he was thinking about hanging up his cape, so to speak. And it was like, yeah, maybe I need to get the Burton nice quiet life with Pepper, buy a farm, and shit. And I don't think he regretted his Ultron action too much. But the thing is that I think he goes, well, we need to register it because I don't trust the people, like the superheroes, to do their fucking job. Like I don't trust everybody but me to do it, and I'll register. I don't give two shits. I literally, at like in the end of my first movie, I went, screw it, I'm Iron Man. And like so, the thing is that I think that he just goes, yeah, everybody should register, and that's perfectly fine, and I'm okay with it because everybody already knows I'm an Iron Man.
Yeah, but see, the problem is he's always been fuck the government. So why did he all of a sudden? The only thing that really happened to have changed his mind about that is Ultron.
Oh no, I see. That's the thing is that I think Ultron is indicative of Iron Man, Tony Stark not trusting anybody to do the job but him. And so because he doesn't trust the people, he doesn't trust anybody but him to do the job. He thinks everybody should register, and it's the reason why he created Ultron, because he doesn't trust everybody to do it. He wants, like, he doesn't trust anybody to. I keep on repeating it. He doesn't trust anybody but himself and maybe his team to do it. And he's like, yeah, I'll register. I keep on making the same argument.
Yeah, you literally said the same thing 5 times, at least.
Yeah, I know.
I mean, I don't know.
Sorry.
Yeah, like I said, I'm interested to see where it goes and see what the fuck happens.
I think it's going to be a small incursion into Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. I don't think it's going to be anything as massive as Winter Soldier. Again, I don't think they can ever do that. Although it's going to be interesting to see how in another 3 years they connect the Inhumans as they are now on the TV show to the Inhumans as they are in the movie that's coming. So that's one of those interesting things. Anything else, PJ, before we get out of here?
Did you watch Carter?
I lost it. Oh, I lost it. I meant to. Anything you want to say on that?
No, I mean I thought it was good. It was a good. I think the season's over. I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, no. They only play it when Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. isn't playing. They don't play them in.
It's got a shorter run, only like 10, 12 episodes, something like that. But I thought it was pretty good second season. So I mean I won't say too much on it just because I don't want to spoil anything or anything like that. For you, since you haven't got around to watching it.
I will get around to it. It's on Hulu. I think I caught enough episodes where Madam Mask was starting to become Madam Mask, and I haven't seen the end of it. And it's really it's really one of those really interesting things because there's two things I want to bring up with the continuity of Marvel versus the continuity of MCU. Is that two things? Jessica Jones and Peter Parker went to school together in the comic books, and Jessica Jones actually had a massive, massive crush on Peter Parker. And so now it's really interesting that Peter Parker's 15 and Jessica Jones is like 30.
Yeah, that definitely fucks up. But, I mean, that's easy.
That's something that's not even just like, oh, hey, I like you, kid. And then that's the nod, and then we all fucking move on. Yeah. Even if they ever cross paths, which Spider-Man, it's Spider-Man. I mean, so it's one of those interesting things that you have your region of a city superhero. Jessica Jones and Matt Murdock are both like the region of Hell's Kitchen. Then you have the New York superheroes, which is Spider-Man. Then you have the world superheroes, that's like Captain America. And then you have the galactic superheroes that are the Guardians of the Galaxy and Silver Surfer. And so it's really interesting to see if Tom Hiddleston, the Spider-Man kid's gonna actually show up in the Daredevil in the Defenders Netflix lines.
Yeah.
The other one is Madam Mask and Tony Stark in the comics are like ex-lovers and occasional like real-life lovers. And it's really interesting because Madam Mask also is the lover of the Red Hood. And I don't know where Agent Carter goes, but Red Hood is like the only human to ever attempt and get close to collecting all the Infinity Stones and the Gauntlet. And then Tony Stark's the actual one who completes it. So So it's one of those interesting things that Madame Mass runs really deep with Tony Stark, and runs actually kind of importantly.
Tony Stark or his dad?
No, his Tony Stark, like Anthony Stark, not Papa Stark.
Okay.
No, it's no, and then in the
So
TV
does Madame
show.
Max not age because of?
No, she ages, and it's just that they decided to drop her in against Peggy Carter instead of having her be the same age as Tony Stark.
Oh, okay. Okay. All right.
Because it's like her father is is one of those villains that has a shit ton of power, but they really don't do a lot with because he's not that great of a character in the comic books.
Okay.
And
Okay.
yeah, but like on the grand scale of on the Marvel comic books, not just like series, because every series has their villains and all that. So like, and her father is whose name I'm forgetting is was a rival, I think a rival of Tony's father, and then those two on the side. So no.
Okay.
Anything else?
Just a couple things. One thing I forgot to mention about Batman vs Superman.
Mhm.
Ryan, you might be able to. Yeah, I mean you don't really know, but
He's awake again.
I'm still here.
you comment
He's
about
not.
it.
He's only tweeting. He's
Who
not
the
sleeping.
fuck? Like who the fuck knew Metropolis and fucking Gotham were fucking throwing distance from each other?
I didn't know that, but I don't know anything about comics. I bet John knew.
Yeah, that's all I'm like. What the fuck? Danny, you knew?
Recently learned.
Okay, like I had like that shit's like fucking Manhattan and New York.
doesn't-
Fucking, like right next to
It doesn't
I mean,
blow my mind or anything because it kind of makes sense, but I didn't know it.
Well, nah, see, I think
it doesn't make no sense.
it
for
makes
me.
no sense in all reality because you wouldn't have cities of both those sizes next to each other.
Especially for as powerful and as fast and shit as Superman is. Why the fuck's he let all this shit go down right next door? And he rarely shows up. Like I understand he's got Batman there and he knows Batman. Like eventually knows Batman knows how to handle his business. But at the beginning when they didn't know each other, like why the fuck wasn't he over there helping people? I mean, it's literally like right next door.
Yeah.
That's the part. Like they were standing on a roof in Metropolis and just looked over and seen the Batlight. Like what? Like it's that close? Like what? Like lights don't shine that far.
It makes no logical sense in all reality.
I was a little thrown back by that one.
I mean, and here's the thing: is that like Baltimore is 30 miles away from Washington D.C. You can't see Washington D.C. from Baltimore or Baltimore from Washington.
That's what I'm saying. I mean,
you can see Metropolis.
But you
that's
could
what I'm
build
saying. In
water
order to see that shit, I mean, that's less than 5-10 miles from each other.
No.
Yes.
Over that
Okay,
water.
I haven't seen the movie. Where were they standing?
They
On
were standing
top
on a
of the
roof,
building.
and it wasn't even the biggest building in the place.
It was a tall.
By the way, like
tall
roughly, you're probably gonna see about 15 miles, like using the curvature of the Earth, and
Yeah.
it's one of those things that at ground level you can see 7 miles. As you go up, you can see more, and
Yeah.
you're probably if it's roughly about, let's call it a 15-story building, you can
Oh,
probably
no,
see
that
about
was dude, that was a 30-story building.
I'm
Okay.
just saying Superman could be there in like 2 seconds. That's all I'm saying.
Yeah, that's absolutely true.
That's all I'm saying.
No, not even, no. He might as well call it teleporting because he'd be there even quicker than that.
Yeah, exactly. I mean,
Yeah, again, one of the many, 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 many things that I'm not that crazy about DC for.
all right, and then Gotham. Gotham is if you gave up on Gotham, you should give it a chance. It is.
I've never watched it because it was never on Netflix. And I wasn't gonna watch it.
One season, so it can only just get on Netflix now.
Right, it just got on Netflix, so.
Do you not have Hulu, Ryan?
I have it, but they make you watch commercials, and there's no point in me paying. Actually, I don't have it anymore. I thought it was really stupid that I was paying for something that still had commercials.
Okay, one, that was for live broadcast directly over. Two, there's a plan you can buy now that has no commercials, and I have it, and it's fucking awesome. There's very few exceptions that you get a commercial before and after an episode, and Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. happens to be one of those shows.
By the way, it's bullshit.
Stuff
It's
is
fucking
really-
bullshit. Because I bought Hulu fucking Plus. I bought Hulu fucking Plus before all this shit went down, and the only thing you ever got commercials on was like with it was the like brand new broadcasts. Everything else had no commercials, and then they introduced more gates and make everything more expensive. Bullshit.
But I mean, how much does Hulu really even have?
Oh
Hulu
no,
has-
it's
Did you
really
realize
fucking
how much
good for brand new things.
I was like, Hulu. Dude, I watch so much shit on Hulu.
In all reality, if it wasn't for
And you can buy like a year card on eBay for like $20.
and in all reality, if it wasn't for sports, I probably wouldn't have cable and I'd just have Hulu.
I mean, I have cable currently, but that's because they were going to charge me an installation fee. If I did when I moved, if I did just cable installation, they were going to charge me $40. But if I got cable, they'd waive the installation fee. So I got cable for the first month, and then I'm going to cancel the shit.
Well, your internet sucks because you have freaking data fluxes like nobody's business on your mic right now.
Oh, am I fucking up?
Oh, you're fucked up.
I don't think it's my internet. I think it's my laptop.
No, okay.
And we can talk about this after. All right. So guys, if you're watching live, is there anybody watching live, PJ?
Yeah, we got one.
Hi.
Not sure who, but we got one.
So stick around for in another half an hour. We'll talk about the last week in gaming. And if there's nothing else, boys, for Josh and John, I'm going to say this is Danny. Have a great night. PJ?
I like presents.
Oh, God. Ryan?
Good night. Go play the Division.
Oh, yes, go play the Division. I thought he was going to say I love touchdowns and burritos. God bless. Thank you, God. Have a good day.
It's officially baseball season, so home run.
I like presents.